Welcome to the Leadership Speak at the Advanced Toastmaster Club for Leadership and Development. We are one of the top 5 club globally. I am Mariam Saidawi and I am your sergeant at arms of this meeting. The club mission is we provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in the greater confidence and personal growth. As the leadership speak is the primary club for developer for experienced Toastmaster to become better self-directed leaders. We are an advanced club focusing primarily on leadership development in everything we do. Over the timer, we have her virtual hands raised, so we call all immediately see who is the keeping over the time and our the Toastmaster of the day who lead our the meeting is Toastmaster Mrinal Kanti Ghosh, has even 20 years of the corporate experience and worked as the market access manager at the GSK. He recently completed the senior management program from the IIM. His the passion about learning, leadership, and communication. He joined Toastmaster to the grow as the speaker and lead, and we are excited to have him with us. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the virtual podium Toastmaster Minal Kanti Ghosh. Welcome. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mariam, for your wonderful introductions. I urge you, everyone, please clap for our energetic sir, Mariam. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Imagine for a moment the Wright brothers standing in an open field in 1903, starting at a wooden frame with wings. No one had even flown before. The world said, it's impossible. They said, let's see what happens if we try. That, my friend, is leading beyond what exists. In simple terms, leading beyond what exists means creating a path where none currently exists, seeing opportunities beyond resources, beyond constraints, and even beyond reality as it stands today. According to the McKinsey companies that adopt a future-backed approach to leadership are 33% more likely to outperform their peers in profitability. But this is not just about corporate success, it's about personal leadership too. In Toastmaster, we lead beyond what exists every time we volunteer for a role, deliver a speech, or mentor someone, because we are shaping skills and confidence that don't exist yet. Let's think of Satya Nadella at Microsoft. When he became CEO in 2014, Microsoft was losing relevance in the tech world. He painted a vision of cloud first, mobile first company. The result, the Azure grew from 3% to over 25% market share in under a decade, closer to home. Think of our first Toastmaster speech in Toastmasters when you deliver your speech. At that time, the confident speaker you are today didn't exist, but you and your mentor around you led beyond what exists in that moment. I want you to think, what is the one area in your life where you can lead beyond what exists? Maybe it's a project at work, a personal goals, or a skill you have been hesitant to start. Keep that in mind as we move through today's meeting. Today's meeting is a perfect example of leadership beyond the presence. Each role player here has not just taken on a responsibility, they have prepared, refined, and even practiced their role every Thursday during our special practice meetings. This is what leadership speak a premier club. We don't just show up, we rehearse in excellence. We truly live our theme of going beyond exist in Toastmasters. So, as we begin, remember leadership isn't about a title, it's about creating something bigger than today. Let's inspire, challenge, and encourage each other to lead beyond what exists. And as a leadership speak has proven, excellence isn't an accident. It's practice, perfected, and we proudly delivers. Cheers for leadership speak. The members are from 33 countries. It's time to invite to raise a toast E.G. McDowell. E.G. McDowell, please, Zoom Master, please spotlight our toast of the day, E.G. McDowell. E.G. McDowell, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guest. How often have you stood at the base of a mountain no one else could see? The one inside you, a great idea, a challenge, or a calling. I had a great idea once to host a 100-participant beauty and wellness symposium. It was in New York City. It was exciting, it was a great success. I was standing on top of Mount Everest. Then I sat down too long and my mind said, girl, climb higher. The next mountain I didn't see coming. It was about betrayal. No clear answers, no path. Just anxiety, doubt, fear. And my heart whispered, EJ, get up and keep climbing. Leading beyond what exists means stepping forward regardless of the unknown. And let's be honest, it's not pretty and it's not easy. But something about that invisible summit kept pulling me. So I kept climbing. And here's the miracle. I stopped wishing and waiting for the path, and I became the path. Suddenly, what didn't exist now existed. I chose to trust, transcend, and climb again. That's why I love this club so much. Every time a member speaks, mentors, leads, they might not even feel that they're ready, but they're climbing a mountain no one else can see. And every guest here today, you're not just visiting, you're scouting your summit. Toastmasters isn't just for beginners, intermediate, and advanced. It's really a mountain training for visionaries, climbers, and bold-hearted leaders. I challenge you, when no one else sees your mountain but you, when your summit only lives in your imagination, climb higher and higher and higher. Because the view you create, someone else may need it to believe in. So let's keep leading beyond what exists and leave a majestic path of inspiration behind us. And now, let me propose a toast. Please unmute your mics, turn off your cameras, please raise your glasses, and repeat after me. Lead beyond what exists.
Lead
what
beyond
exists.
What exists?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for
Thank you.
participating. Thank you for participating. Please help me welcome back our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, E.G. McDowell. It was wonderful toast. Thank you so much, Toastmaster E.G. McDowell. Once again, I also welcome our guest. Warmly welcome to our all guests. I ask you, our BPM committee, please post the guest book in the link of Zoom chat. I urge you directly just fill up the guest form, those who interested for our club leadership speak. It's time to call up on the stage our timer. Timer always plays very crucial role. And today, our timer, Toastmaster Karim. Toastmaster Karim, over to you.
Thank you, dear Toastmaster of the Day, dear member of fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. This is my pleasure to be your timer during today's meeting. My role consists of timing each role player according to the agenda. After each part, speaking slot and evaluation, I will pause the report. Thank you very much. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Karim. It's time to call upon on the stage our grammarian. And today's our grammarian Toastmaster Atul Sankar from Tanzania. Toastmaster Atul, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Mrinal. Mr. and Madam Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take a note of any improper language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, and sayings or thoughts. As grammarian, it is my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is transcend, which means to rise above, surpass, or go beyond the limits of something. Example, great leaders transcend in life of the present to shape a better future. So each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I will give grammarians report when called upon during the meeting and also report on the usage of the word. Thank you, Madam and Mr. Toastmasters. Hands to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Atul. We always with our transcend zone to becoming a better version of ourselves. Now it's time for our educational speech. And today, our educational speaker, none other than DTM Vinod Panicker. He's an amazing Toastmasters, passionate Toastmasters, and he is an asset for the Toastmaster fraternity. Before call up on the stage, it's time to call up on the podium our leadership speaker evaluator. And today, our evaluator is our club president, Toastmaster Holmes. Toastmaster Holmes, over to you. Please read the speech objective of our educational speaker.
Thank you so much, Mrinal. At Leadership Speak, we always have an educational speaker that dives deep into the team and let us learn from his experience and his expertise. Today, Vinod will be delivering a professional speech as part of his journey to become a better and a better professional speaker, inspiring us, motivating us, educating us all. Thank you so much. Back to Mrinal.
Thank you so much. DTM Vinod Panicker. From what is to what can be, the world of possibilities. From what is to what can be, the world of possibilities. Over to you, and all the best, DTM Vinod.
We live in two worlds, a world of what is and a world of what can be. In the world of what is, this is a world which is safe, familiar, predictable, and comfortable. In the world of what can be is a world of growth, but it's unfamiliar, uncomfortable, and messy. Now, to be a true leader, we need to transcend from what is to what can be, from safety to growth. Because living in either one of the world is fatal. If you live just in the world of what is, with what you are comfortable with, you are using something called as convergent thinking, just solving problems to be more efficient. You ask the question, why? And in the world of what can be, you ask the question, why not? In this world, we use divergent thinking, a diverse set of ideas. Now, today, my main purpose of giving this speech is to give you some tools on how to go to transcend from what is to what can be world. And there are actually 12 abilities which are called as creative abilities to use and be in this what can be world. But I will share all those in a handout after my speech, along with whatever content I am sharing with you. All those things will be shared in a handout after my speech. Now I am going to speak about only 3 creative abilities. And those 3 are: 1, fluency of ideas; second, elaboration; and third, originality of idea. And I will spend more time on the first one. The primary reason being, I want you all to start thinking about how to think. So before just setting my session, I will just make sure I can see the timer. Yes, I can see. The 3 creative abilities. The first one, fluency of ideas. Now, the core of this ability is to have a good idea, you need to have a lot of ideas. That is the basic. According to a study done by McKinsey, they said normally during a corporate meeting, the maximum number of ideas that a team comes up with is just 2. What about if you start to come up with ideas, more than 30, 40, or even 50 ideas, using tools such as the first tool that I would be sharing is brainstorming. Now, most of you might have heard about this word, and some of you might not have heard about this. But brainstorming simply means taking a challenge or taking a statement, solution, or a question and going on putting ideas as soon as possible for this particular challenge. I recently did this in our sales meeting. I work as a head of sales for a packaging company, and I created 4 teams and I used a tool called as Crazy 8. Basically, it simply says that come up with 8 ideas in 8 minutes. And then you have to stick it over the whiteboard and start explaining over that. And it works very effectively. The second tool that I would like to share over here is question storming. Just like brainstorming is sharing your ideas, question storming is just asking questions. You are not allowed to make any statements, and both of them have some simple basic rules. The number one rule, quantity is more important than quality. Just come up with ideas, whatever comes to your mind first. The second, defer judgment. The third, build on your partner's idea. Now, I would like someone in the audience who would like to volunteer. Just raise your hands if anybody wants to play a simple game quickly. Just raise your hands, and I would like the Zoom master to put 2 people on the screen. Now, this was completely impromptu. It came to my mind as I was changing my dress. So let me see who is there who would come up over here. So I see Atul, and second is, yeah, the Zoom master quickly put them, the second person also on the screen. Anyone that you like. Yeah, dog and Atul. Okay, fine. Now, there are 3 people. I just need 2 people. Thank you very much. And I will call the other person. Now, it's a very simple game. Atul and dog. Okay. You both are going to have a conversation only in questions. Right? Only in questions. Now, I would ask the audience or the Toastmaster of the day, please unmute yourself.
Yes.
Give a situation where, in which place these people are. Any situation, airport, not Toastmaster Club, but anywhere in the world. Airport, fish market, anything that comes to your mind quickly.
Airport.
Airport. Okay. What is their relation? Again, quick.
Relations, just connection to with one another as an unknown person.
Okay. Let's say 2 friends. Fine.
Yes.
So Mr. Atul and Mr. Dog. Now you both are going to have a conversation. Atul is going to start. You can only have a conversation in question. So Atul will ask a question. You will reply in a question. The person who says something other than a question will be out. Start, Atul.
Hello, sir. May I know your good name and may I know where you're flying to?
I didn't quite hear clearly your question.
Sure.
Again,
I'll repeat it again. Yeah. May I know what's your good name or may I know where you're flying to?
My name is Doug.
Doug, gone. You are out. You should not reply in answer. That was a question. Now, okay, Zoom master, please take them out. Thank you very much for your participation. The purpose of sharing this was, question storming is a difficult thing. When we just want to put ideas, it comes very easily. You can randomly say a lot of things, but it is a challenging thing to come up with 25 questions in 10 minutes or 15 minutes. When you first do the question storming, then select 1 or 2 questions and then start brainstorming. That's how you can use your creative abilities and go beyond what exists and transcend from what is to what can be. The third tool for this thing, the third tool in this particular thing to generate ideas is mind map. Mind map was created by Tony Buzan, and it is basically a visual representation of your ideas. When I was a division director, I had invited someone who actually had worked with Tony Buzan, and we did a mind map for how to have more members in Toastmasters. I don't have that exact mind map, but I have something similar to that in the handout. But there was something that came interesting in that, which I will never forget. One of the members had written, "Catch them young." And when we asked that member, "What do you mean by catch them young?" He said, "You have to make sure every school in the city where you belong to knows about Toastmasters, irrespective of whether there is a Gavel Club or whether there is a Toastmaster Club. They should just be aware that there is something called as Toastmasters." Now, there were many ideas that came and we had discussed. I thought, okay, fine. But just a week later, in my house, my 8-year-old daughter was playing on her laptop a game called Minecraft. My wife looked at me and said, "Let's go to IKEA today." I told her, "Yes, okay, it's a Saturday evening, let's go." And my daughter jumped and said, "Yay, let's go to IKEA." And we both looked at her with amazement. How do you know about IKEA? Because you see, I heard the word IKEA in 2003. In India, till 2003, there was no IKEA. And it is one store which I absolutely hate. That means you pay the money and also you need to build something. What a logic. I never understood that. But when my daughter started shouting IKEA, I asked her, "How did you know about IKEA?" She said, "It is there in the Minecraft game." And she showed the Minecraft game. There was an IKEA store, there was a McDonald's. And I looked at that. And then I related to the boy who said, "Catch them young." So McDonald's, IKEA, and all the other big companies do this type of marketing where they make sure kids are familiar with the concept. So when they are 18 years or 19 years, they are ready for their product. Why can't we do that? So an idea that got sparked at that time. Now, just having an idea is not enough. Once you have a bunch of ideas, now you need to do the second step, the creative ability number 2, that is elaboration. Elaboration is simply attaching details to the ideas. That's it. So for example, you have an idea of writing a book and you came up with a lot of topic. And then you decided, I want to write a book on leadership. Now let's come to the second step, leadership. Now elaborate it. How many chapters would you like to have? How many pages would you like to have? What is the structure that you want to do? Start attaching ideas to it. And once you start attaching ideas to it, then create a prototype and test your idea. That is what a complete field of design thinking is for. Now, design thinking is an approach which was developed in the early 1950s and 60s. Earlier, it was used to make product better. Then it evolved to make service better. And nowadays, it is used to make organizations, team, and even life better. It's a human-centered approach where we take an idea, understand the pain point of the user, and then develop a prototype, a working model for the big goals, and then use it. Whatever your dream, whatever your goal, or whatever your aspiration as a leader or as an entrepreneur or as a person it is, take that idea, do that brainstorming, think about it, and then come develop a prototype. Now, the best example that comes to my mind for developing prototype is from the world of software, where they call something as alpha beta testing or maybe beta testing only. My wife, my brother, and a lot of my friends work in IT. So they say this. For example, if you have a website which has 100,000 users who visit every day on your website, And the website has decided I have to monetize certain part of the website now. Let's say we have a website where we can buy and sell cars, and you want to monetize a certain part of that website. Instead of immediately doing that, what usually people do in the world is they will create a small model where only 1000 users will be selected and they would be shown the monetized page. And if more than 30% of the people buy that particular product, only then they think of doing all these things and monetize the product. Now, this is not an entrepreneurship session, but this has to do something with leadership speak also. What it is? Toastmasters by default is an organization which is based on the design thinking model, which takes feedback and continuous improvement. Dr. Ralph C. Smedley had said, Toastmasters is a laboratory where we conduct our public speaking experiments. For the new age, I would say Toastmasters is a laboratory where we conduct public speaking and leadership experiment. I have been in this club from the day of inception. So I have seen the prototypes that we have made and refined. The Tuesday coaching meetings, the Thursday practice meeting, the Global Leadership Summit, or the Championship Speech Summit. These were all ideas which were brainstormed earlier with people, and then we created a prototype, and then we went to the real world, and whatever was accepted, we kept that, and with feedback, we are continuously improving. So that is what continuous improvement means. You can use a lot of different tools for that, but are you improving is the only question. If not, go back to the first step. Take a new idea and start with that particular thing. Now, let me ask anyone in the audience, do you anyone in the audience would like to start a podcast? It can be on any topic. Anyone who would like to start a podcast, just raise their hand. Okay. Okay, I saw Francois. Hi, Francois. I think you want to start on how to eat mangoes.
Thank you so much. Yes, how to eat mangoes.
Okay, tell me now what would be the name of the podcast?
The health benefits of mangoes.
The health benefit of mangoes. We will not be doing the ideation session because we know that we have already done that in our leadership speak group. So this is an idea that we want, that health benefits of mango. Give me 3 benefits.
Rich in antioxidants. Very help to combat flu. And number 3, it also has lots of natural nutrients and minerals that you cannot find in regular medications.
Okay, now we are going to create an opening line for your podcast, right? So what you are going to say is, we are creating a prototype over here where you are going to create your opening line for the podcast, and rest you can decide what to do. So you will say just, hi, I am Francois, and then add something. You are on the Francois Mango podcast, whatever you want to say. I will give you 30 seconds to think. You have 30 seconds to speak about the opening of the podcast and make it professional. There are many mango lovers in leadership speaking around the world. For all the mango lovers in the world, you have to do this podcast, Francois. Okay, so I'll give you 10 seconds. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and think. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Welcome to my podcast. My name is Miss Frances Boyne from the beautiful Caribbean island of Antigua and Barbuda with 365 pink and white sandy beaches, summer all year round. But besides that, we grow our natural mangoes. For those of you who love mangoes, but unfortunately, you might not be able to have it be grown in your country. This podcast, the Mango Podcast, we're here to delve into the health benefits of mangoes, what it can do for you, and also how you can have mangoes being shipped into your country with exportation. Sit back, relax, join me every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Francis. A big round of applause for Francis. Thank you. Now, what Francis did with her podcast, you can do with a book, you can do with your business, you can do with your leadership. Take an idea and start practicing it and get the feedback. Thank you very much, Francis, for that. Now, the third creative ability that I would like to share is originality. Now, this is something which is debatable because many people think there is something original. But originality here, in terms of what can be and what is possible or going beyond what exists, it simply means something novel. And we may think human beings are very intelligent, but it is not the case. It took 100 years for mankind to reverse a camera and take selfie. It took 50 years for humankind to take the wheel and attach it to a suitcase. So there are a lot of things, 2 or 3 different things, we can bring it together and do something. So what is it that you can do? A CEO of a very famous company once said, whenever our product gets old, we change the packaging. All the speeches, World Championship speeches, the messages you have heard 100 times, it's the packaging that has changed, that makes it novel, that makes it unique. So what are you going to do with 2 or 3 ideas? What are the things that come to your mind? I am going to try something different today before I end my speech. I was thinking, how can I take 2 different things and bring it together? Or this is 2 similar things. So I thought about, what am I doing? I'm doing speaking. What can be something different? That is singing, right? So what if I sing or I do a rap song for Leadership Speak? How many of you want to hear that? Just say yes on the chat. If I get 5 yes, I will do that. Okay. Okay, that is more than enough. So I will use a notes over here. Evaluator, you can take a note of this, but I wanted to make sure I do this right because I wanted to do something that pushes me what exists or beyond what I have ever done. So 1, 2, 3. Yo, Leadership Speak. We run the game. Number 1 in the world. Remember the name. We bring our best. Then we hit repeat. A group of self-directed leaders who go beyond what exists. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Wow. I urge you everyone, please clap for our educational speaker. Sometimes we need to speak beyond our limits. And that's a great example to close a note, educational note, with a rap songs. Thank you so much, DTM Vinod.
Thank you.
I urge you once again, our VPM committee, please post the guest book link in the Zoom chat. I urge every guest, please fill up the forms. Thank you so much. Now it's time to call up the podium our first speaker. Our first speaker, Toastmaster Alfin Abrar. Wanna
Hello.
connect with Alfin. Hi. Hi, Toastmaster Alfin. Good to see you. Wanna ask
Hello, Vinod.
what you want to do today? He simply told that leads beyond what exists. I want to inspire others. I also invite in the virtual podium, our evaluator of our first speaker, Toastmaster Nelly. Toastmaster Nelly, please read the speech objective of our speaker.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. So this time, Alfin Abrar will deliver his speech. His speech is a part of motivational strategies pathway inspiring the audience. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice writing and delivering a speech that inspires others, while the purpose of the speech is to inspire us, the audience. An additional aspect that he asked me to observe is his clarity, whether or not he can easily be followed by the audience from start to finish. I'm looking forward to your speech, Alfin Abrar, and back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nelly. Toastmaster Alfin, smart or rich? Smart or rich? Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the meeting. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Truth or truth? Do you prefer smart or rich? Be honest, smart or rich? And if most of people will say rich, that when we rich, we can buy the smart. Today, I will share the comparison between being smart and being rich. Hope I can inspire you to make your own decision. Let's talk about being smart from the aspect how to become, I will start to become rich. At the point, how to become rich. First of all, I need to define what is rich. In my country, or maybe in most countries, rich is determined by the amount of money that I have. Let's say $1 million. And to be rich, I need to work hard. Because I work hard, I earn a lot of money, and I become rich. Or I can open a business, sell something, earn a lot of money. Hopefully, I can achieve $1 million. Then, can we lose the rich status? Can we lose money? How can we lose money? I can lose money just as simple as being stolen. If I put my money in the bank and somewhere the scammer can deduct my money is gone. Or as simply as I give my money to others, my money will be decreasing. The third one, can I influence people by being rich? Maybe yes, I can influence you or my counterpart if I'm very rich. Imagine I have 1 million or more. But the influence can be paid. Now, talking about smart, how to become smart. If I want to be smart, one thing that I do is reading. I can read about leadership. And then I apply what I just learned, what I just read. To transcend my leadership, I got the feedback. I received all feedback from my mentors, from my counterparts when I apply my leadership. That's how I gain smart about leadership. And can I lose my smart or my knowledge about leadership? It is so hard because it is on my mind. Someone cannot steal my knowledge as simple as that. And when I give it to others, it is magical. When I give my knowledge to others, it multiplies. Because the more I teach, the more I need to understand what is it about leadership. The study shows that the most effective way of learning is by teaching, even teaching our peers. So you might try, if you want to learn something, read it first and then teach others. You will be more understand. Can I influence someone if I have the knowledge? It makes more sense because I have the understanding. I can solve the problem. I can make decisions based on my knowledge. So, fellow Toastmasters, being rich or being smart both have the aspects. We can gain the rich status by seeking money, by working, being entrepreneur. But losing money is easy. And influencing people with money, with rich status can be fake or not sustained. Meanwhile, enriching your mind by reading, applying it, teaching others, you cannot lose your knowledge by giving it to others. But it multiplies the more you teach it to others. And your influence is way bigger if you have something in your mind. So, fellow Toastmasters, I hope I can open your mind that it's not all about being rich or gain money. I recommend you to enrich your mind by reading books, apply what you just read, and receive feedback. Then teach it to others, share in your speech till you got more understanding. Money. When I die, my family, my children will get my money and people will forget about this. But when I'm smart, I write a book, I teach others. When I die, 1,000 years from now, I'm still remembered. Toastmasters, rich or smart? I give it to you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alfin, for engaging and thought-provoking speech. Thank you so much. Now it's time to welcome our next role player to the virtual stage. And he is none other than Renan. Renan, when I asked to Renan, what you think live beyond what exists, he simply focused on one thing: how we can say the benefit of Toastmasters in our real life. So before that, I want to welcome our evaluator, Luciano, on virtual stage. Luciano, please read the speech objective of our speaker, Toastmaster Renan.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, it's a great pleasure that I'll give you an overview of Renan's speech. So for today, Renan's speech, it comes from his project on effective coaching, level 1, project number 3, where the speaker has to work on introduction of vocal variety and body language into his speech. So Renan did ask me to look at the body language today. I'll focus my evaluation on the body language during his speech. So all over to you, Renan.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Luciano. Toastmaster Renan, composer under pressure. Composer under pressure. Over to you.
Here at Leadership Speak, our Toastmasters Club, we continue to show up week after week, not only to deliver speeches or fulfill roles, but to build something far more valuable: confidence in ourselves. We come to learn, to grow, and to practice skills that transcend our club meeting, carrying them into our everyday lives. Let's be honest. The benefits of Toastmasters are not always instant or obvious. We don't walk away from one meeting as a completely transformed speaker. But over time, something powerful happens inside us. If you are a Toastmasters already for a year or two or more than like me, maybe you have felt it too. That quiet shift. You begin to stand a little taller. You speak with more clarity. You no longer panic when it's your turn to speak. You start to believe, yes, I can do this. And that confidence, it doesn't stay in this room or Zoom room. It follows you into your workplace, your relationships, and even the moments you least expect. Let me share you something that happens more than a year ago. I was facilitating a training, a session at work for a group of people managers. Sounds simple at the beginning, but later on that session, I had two participants who clearly had other agendas. They would interrupt frequently, challenge my content, and point out what they claimed were flaws in the deck materials. It wasn't the usual constructive type of discussion. In fact, it felt more likely they were trying to undermine the session or the topic. In the past, when I was not a Toastmaster yet, I might have responded differently with the situation, maybe with sarcasm, defensiveness, or visible frustration. But that time, something was different because I'm already a Toastmasters that time. I remembered my Toastmasters training how to handle the difficult audience. I think that's level 4 of every project. I paused that time, I breathed, and I chose to be composed. Instead of reacting emotionally, I responded professionally. I reminded myself gently. I reminded them and myself, but firmly, to listen first and validate before challenging. I stayed calm, focused on facts, and ensured my tone remained respectful. I even gave clear examples to back up my points, not to embarrass them, but to educate and redirect the conversation in a more productive way. And guess what? It worked. And by the end of the session, those two managers were no longer interrupting. In fact, they were taking notes. That experience reminded me they are real test of communication. It's not when the audience is friendly or silent. It's when you're challenged And it's in those moments when the lessons from Toastmaster shine the brightest. You see, Toastmasters is not just about giving speeches. It's about becoming the kind of communicator who can stay composed under pressure. That's why I keep coming back in a Toastmasters meeting, and now I'm leveling up my confidence. That's why I joined an advanced club like this, because learning for me how to communicate with confidence, with excellence, and with emotional intelligence, that's a journey that never really ends. And to those who may feel they haven't progressed fast enough, or who wonder if showing up each week is worth it, let me tell you, it is. You may not notice the growth immediately, but you will feel when it matters most. So as we continue our journey together, may we all keep showing up, keep speaking, and taking roles, and keep building that composed confidence of being a true leader, not just for the stage, the Zoom, or meeting, but transcend into every aspect of our lives. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Renan, for such an inspiring speech for all of us. We thoroughly enjoy your speech. Once again, I urge you to all the guests, please fill up the guest which is already there in the Zoom chat box. I urge you, please fill your details in our guest book. Now it's time to welcome our next speaker. Our next speaker, Toastmaster Wahiga. When I asked what you think lead beyond what exists within you, he simply told me, I'm the product of great mentorship, and I love to beat the drums of why mentorship. I also welcome our evaluator, Lydia. Please read the speech objective for our speaker.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day. Toastmaster Wahiga Gichinga is she's doing her path on presentation, Persuasive Influence Level 2, Project 3. And it is under Introduction to Toastmaster Mentoring. The speaker will present a speech about a time when being a protege. She will share having a mentor, and the purpose of the project is for the member to define how Toastmasters envision mentoring clearly. And the member will share some of their aspect of previous experience as a protege. Toastmaster Wahiga requested me to look for audience engagement, vocal variety, and pace of her speech. The title of her speech is A Stamp of Confidence. I'm looking forward to your speech, Toastmaster Wahiga.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lydia, for the speech objective of the speaker. Wahiga, a stamp of confidence. A stamp of confidence. Over to you.
What experience in Toastmasters has had the greatest impact in your journey? What encounter has taught you to get out of your comfort zone, face the odds as you chase your goals? For me, it is mentorship. Mentorship has fueled my growth both inside and outside of Toastmasters. It has not only grounded me, it has stamped confidence to my soul and set me up on extraordinary journeys. What has mentorship done for you, whether in Toastmasters or outside Toastmasters? I can't imagine a life, a Toastmaster experience, a club, an organization, a world devoid of mentorship. What I've gathered from mentorship, from the various experiences that I have been part of, is a space where we have people who are so proficient in a particular skill, hold the space, share knowledge, and give guidance to people who are less skilled and help them scale up to excellence. My view of it is a gift, an opportunity that allows us to step up and tap to the knowledge, tap the confidence, tap the wisdom of people who have gone before us. And by doing that, it supports us as an individual to be able to be more intentional in our journey. For example, in my own journey, have less bumpy road and perhaps walk faster towards my desired destination. Mentorship doesn't work on its own, it has to roll. There are parties to it. And I don't know how it has worked for you, but there is a mentor and a mentee. There is a relationship that needs to be fueled for mentorship to be functional. Both parties have to play their role. As much as the mentor needs to create a safe space, share knowledge, and point to direction, the mentee is tasked with taking feedback, learning, and practicing, then going on repeat motion until they have anchored what they have been taught. From experience, it is the accountability, it is the responsibility on the mentee to take to function and help the functioning and the roaring of the relationship by playing their part. 2 years ago, a past district director was forming a district team, and they came to me and asked if I could take up the division director role. I thought, I'm not ready yet, or I need to beef up some more skill so that I can do a good job. But to them, it was time to step up. This is a gentleman that I have been with when I was just a club member, when I was a club officer. He was district director when I was area director. He is so invested in building leadership. He not only leads from the front of success and scale, he delves into masses. He comes to your challenging points and supports you, create an environment that supports, for example, a club back to functionality. Now, this gentleman says it's time to step up. And I thought, where do you get the courage to say no? And so I stepped up to the role. What this experience did to me, what the belief in me before I could, was a stamp of confidence in my capability. It helped me step out of my comfort zone to the forefront of chasing my growth. There are days that were bright, and there were days that were dark. Days that I had fun and things were working, I was feeling like, yeah, I made the right decision. But days I was engulfed with challenges. It is that trust, it is that belief in my capability that kept me roaring, that made me show up even when I'm not sure what the end product will look like, and do my best to take the clubs to the right direction. Right there was a stamp of confidence of my own strength. I don't know what has been stamping confidence to you, either inside and outside of Toastmasters, but I can tell you, if there's nothing so far, try mentorship. I know there are many opportunities to get mentored, but time, of course, there are also enough reasons why one may not want to get mentored. And one will be thinking, perhaps, I have enough proficiency. Do I still need a mentor? If you're struggling with the thought of whether you should have a mentor, in line with the theme of today, if you'd want to lead beyond what exists, then maybe it's a good time to consider mentorship. I'm going to leave you with the words of John C. Crosby. He is a founding director of a mentorship foundation that has rolled out more than 250 mentorship programs. And to him, what mentoring is: a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Wahiga, for your engaging and thoughtful speech. Now, our next and last speaker for today's. When I asked Nicole Miller-Douglas, she simply integrated by the theme lead beyond what exists, because as a mother, she is leading her children into the future that never existed before. She wants them to think big and purposefully. Leading beyond what exists is relevant to pertaining to guide not only my children but many other children. I have never been creativity or technologically sounded. Members of the audience may be in the same shoe, and this meeting should give us a better idea how to lead beyond what exists. What a great thought on theme lead beyond what exists. Now I also want to welcome our evaluator, Nelly. Please read out the speech objective of our speaker, Nicole. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mrinal. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Nicole is going to present a speech from Motivational Strategies. Her project is about writing a speech with a purpose. The purpose of this project is for Nicole to learn to review basic methods of writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. The goal is for Nicole to meet her expressed purpose statement with a well-executed speech. Nicole's purpose statement is speaking to her teenage children with intentionality. She is learning to adjust her tone when speaking to them so that they can appreciate her advice. Back to you, Toastmaster Mrinal.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nili, for read out the speech objective for Nicole. Nicole, be a hero on the road. Be a hero on the road. All the best to you, Nicole.
My dear twins, as you turn 17 on August 20, 2025, and become eligible to take the vroom wheel, you're not just preparing to drive, you are stepping into the role of a hero on the road. To be a driving hero means to drive in a way that protects lives. Your life, the lives of your passengers, and the lives of all other road users, including pedestrians, cyclists, and children. I want to single out children. When you become a driver, I want you to be intentional to choose to become a driving hero. Drive with purpose, drive with care, drive with a mindset that every journey is a chance to save lives. You know, I remember when you both were just 6 years old and your father and I had long conversations about whether you were ready to use public transportation. We were worried so much, not because of your capability, but because of the many reckless drivers who might pose a danger to children like you. Now you're far from 6 years old. You're 16, turning 17, and soon you'll be the one behind the wheel. And guess what? There are 6-year-olds out there today crossing busy streets whose parents will be counting on you to be their hero. So here are 3 things I want you to always remember to help you be a hero on the road. It's the acronym SIR, S-I-R. Say it with me. When I say drive, you say SIR. Drive, SIR. Yes. S for safety first. Always wear your seatbelt. Follow the speed limits and the traffic rules. They are there for a reason. Most importantly, never allow distractions, especially with all the chaos that the inappropriate use of phone have been causing. Don't text while driving. Don't use the phone any at all. If you have to use the phone, pull off to the side of the road and then use your phone. Ensure safety first, always. I is for influence. Only drive when you're under positive influence. When you're calm, clear-headed, and focused on being a hero on the road. Never drive under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or peer pressure. I know you're teenagers, not everything you will tell me. Also, I want you to be brave to speak up. If a friend tries to drive while drunk, say something. Don't remain quiet. Get another friend to help you or someone, but say something to them that would allow them to desist from driving under the influence of alcoholic beverages. R is for responsibility and alertness. Always stay aware of your surroundings, pedestrians, cyclists, and other vehicles on the road. Being responsible also means to drive defensively. Anticipate other people's mistake and try to ensure that you are responsible. When you are responsible, it means you also stay calm and avoid road rage. It doesn't mean much if you're in the right and others lose their lives, which could also mean your own. Let's back this up with some statistics from the University of the West Indies Mona Informatics Institute, which states from January 1 to 31st of 2025, Jamaica roads have become safer with fewer crashes and deaths compared to the same period in 2024. The report further states that for January 2025, there are 28 collisions and 34 fatalities on the Jamaica's road, reflecting an improvement over the 33 collisions and 35 fatalities during the same time frame in 2024. My son, I invite you especially to be more careful on the road because the Ministry of Transport report states that for the 6-year period 2012 to 2017 indicates that males are at more risk of fatal motor vehicle accidents by far. For instance, in 2017, 43 males died from motor vehicle accidents compared to 7 females. Now, my little daughter, it doesn't mean that you're going to become reckless because of this statistic. I don't want to genderize whether male or females are safer drivers. I really just want you to focus on being heroes on the road. Here is one piece of evidence that you're being a hero on the road. When you drive accident-free every day, that is one of the several signs that you are a hero on the road. Become one with the car is another thing I want you to consider. Understand what it is to become one with the car. We'll talk about that some more on another occasion. Just remember, drive with safety. Drive under the right influence and drive responsibly. Not all male heroes wear a cape like Superman. Not all female heroes carry a lasso like Wonder Woman. Some heroes will be like you, who sit behind a steering wheel every day and make the road a safe place for 6-year-olds and 60-year-olds. Drive with a purpose to be a hero on the road. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing such an important topic. I think it's a need of our. Then we can save our lives. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nicole, for bringing such a wonderful topic on your speech. I urge you, our timer Karim, please post the speaker timing report in the Zoom chat. I would also like to take a moment to speak to the most important people in the room. Yes, the guest. Guest, we are delighted to welcome each of you today. Your presence makes our meeting more richer. I hope you are enjoying the meeting for thus so far. In a short moment, our meeting team player Jara would be posting guest book in the Zoom chat. Please sign our guest book and we would love to speak to you toward the end of the meeting. And now also I request you, our Zoom masters, who's silently doing a great job today, Transcend. Please vote for the best effort speaker. I urge you everyone, please vote for the best speaker.
Toastmaster Mrinal, I think we need to reset the poll again. Please give me some time to
Okay.
return.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much. Now it's time to introduce our general evaluator for today's meeting. Our general evaluator, Leah Musunga, is a Toastmaster enthusiast. She has previously served as a BPE SAR of Gabardine Toastmaster Club in Botswana. She has been an area director and division director, and currently she is a public relation manager in District 74. And by the way, she also avid reader both. So with that note, I just want to, before I hand over the podium to Lisa, I just ask you, Toastmaster Paramjit, voting link is ready or it will take more time?
Continue. I will just post it. Just continue.
Thank you. Thank you. Over to you, Leah.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. And as stated, we are now in the evaluation part of our meeting. So this is where we get feedback for the speeches that have been presented today. So this is a time for all the evaluators to help our speakers transcend their current abilities and discover new ways that they can lead beyond what exists as part of our theme for today. With that being said, I'd like to invite our first evaluator who is our evaluator for the toast that's Ashwati. If you could please come and give us the evaluation for our toast of the evening. And I can see the poll for the best effort speaker has been launched.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Leah. Fellow Toastmasters and dear EJ. Today, what we witnessed was a speech that was not just delivered, but it was an experience. From the moment you begin with the thought-provoking question that how often you have stood on the top of the mountain, you had us leaning in, curious about where you would take us. And you stood before us very confident, impeccably dressed for the occasion, radiating the poise and the presence of a seasoned speaker. So congratulations for that. What I appreciated most in your toast today was your ability to blend the personal story with the universal. The story you shared was deeply personal. You tried to tie it beautifully to each one of us, and by connecting it to our club, the leadership speak, and our members, making everyone feel part of your journey. And this inclusive approach of your speech is actually a hallmark of a speaker who understands the public speaking, that the public speaking is a dialogue, not a monologue. So I love that part. And the best part of your toast was the closing message. Even though it was a toast, but you had a very strong, clear, memorable message, and also takeaway, a gift that we could take home from the speech. So now, as strong as your speech was, there are a couple of areas, according to me, that with a little refinement can take your take your speech to from the excellent to an outstanding one. The first one that I noticed was you were referring to your notes several times during your speech. And I know that this was done because you wanted to ensure accuracy, maybe. But occasionally it interrupted the natural flow of your storytelling. and the emotions were breaking in between because of that, because we were losing that eye contact. And so I suggest perhaps for future speeches, you can consider rehearsing, especially the key transitions and the points that allow you to maintain that uninterrupted eye contact with the audience. The second one, your enthusiasm was evident in your gestures. You were having a lot of hand movements, the mountain and all those. But because you stood very close to the screen, to the camera, some of your gestures were actually cutting off. When you were opening your arms, it was not visible to us. And in virtual speaking, just as we frame our face, we also need to frame our body language. So a slight step back from the camera would have allowed us to see a full a range of your movements, which would have enhanced the visual impact and your message. So in conclusion, EJ, you delivered a very good speech that was engaging, inclusive, and with a very beautiful story. With a little more freedom from your notes and an adjustment to your virtual stage presence, I'm very confident that you will take your speech from excellent to the outstanding level. So I'm looking forward to your next speech, EJ. Thank you so much, and over to you, the General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Aswati, for that, and definitely giving a very constructive evaluation. Love the fact that you also summarized it at the end so that all the major points were noted even at the end so that the speaker can know. Because the one thing we should always remember, that an evaluation is also a speech. It has an opening, a closing, and a conclusion. So thank you so much for that, Ashwati. We'll now move on to our evaluator, who our evaluator for our Toastmaster of the day. So yes, here in Leadership Speak, we also evaluate the Toastmaster of the day. So I'd like to invite Jyothi to please come and give us the evaluation for our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. It's my privilege to evaluate Toastmaster Mrinal, Toastmaster of the day's delivery. For me, your speech was both informational and inspirational. With facts, you brought in a lot of examples of the corporate, and you also made it inspiring by using the theme, lead beyond what exists. That was challenging. I liked the way you asked the question, what is the one area you live beyond? That was thought-provoking. Something which I truly liked was that small act that shows big leadership. You asked all of us to clap for the Sergeant of Arms. That showed the value to our members, self-directed leaders. You were courteous throughout, Mrinal, to every member, to the guests especially, made sure they felt welcome, and you paused and made sure the guest books were put on. I think that is what Leadership Speak stands for. Coming to now the true commendation, which I felt was your theme inspired, and it definitely transcended where, it is bold steps into what can be. You presented with a smile and a pause. Data is for the head, while stories are for the heart. So you brought in the element of McKinsey, Nadella, and also the personal touch to it. That was very interesting. May I share a couple of suggestions for your consideration, please? Eye contact. You had a smile throughout. That was very engaging. But I noticed you had your head towards your right, and it stayed fixed there throughout. Right now, you're looking straight. Yes, Mrinal, you're adjusting. But when you looked at throughout, it stayed to the right. And even while you were speaking, if you could just look around, pause, scan, so all of us feel that we're part of the entire process. That would have made it even better. So moving on is eye contact is one. And today, our educational speakers' energy was at one level. I wish you had brought in your energy, because at Toastmasters, especially Leadership Speak, there's a bond between the educational speaker and the Toastmaster of the day. It's like a wedding bond, interwoven, connecting. So a teaser like information about what today our rapper brought would have added that extra zing to it. That would have also said how well prepared you were and connected with the Toastmaster, as a Toastmaster with the educational speaker. So in summary, it was a very inspirational and informed delivery. It was pleasant, you stood out, and definitely look at these two things of eye contact and connecting with the educational speaker. It will transcend to a different level. Thank you, and over to our general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Jyothi, for that evaluation. I think you definitely picked up on what was done well and what could be improved on. I know energy levels can sometimes be a bit difficult to match, but thank you so much for that evaluation. I would now like to invite our next evaluator who will be evaluating our educational speaker. And when asked about our theme for today, our evaluator Holmes said that no one holds a crystal ball, but we can shape the future by leading beyond what exists. And that's what he said regarding our theme for today. So I'd like to invite Holmes to please come and evaluate our educational, give us the evaluation for our educational speaker.
Thank you, Madam G. Vinod today has chosen a project to inspire others. And I thought the best way to evaluate Vinod is using the acronym of SUN, S-U-N. How did Vinod's speech shine brightly today? A key aspect of inspiring others, or inspiring me, for example, as an audience, is that I need to relate and be happy with the speech. How did Vinod did this? There were two times where Vinod called for interaction, live interaction with the audience. First one with Atu and Dong, and he showed how difficult it is for question storming. And the second time with François, where he showed it is possible when you have done your brainstorming, when you have a base to be able to create ideas. This created a shine for me that it is possible to go forward. The U. The U is for upliftment. Do you all remember how he ended his educational keynote? With a rap. And right before that, he said, if there are 5 people who said yes, I'm going to do a rap. He got everyone in, and there are over 10 yeses that I counted just now. So there was the shine, there was an upliftment. Now let's talk about the N, the nourishment. To nourish a leader, sometimes we have to connect deeper with some of the sadder, some of the more challenging moments. And this is my suggestion for Vinod. At the very start, he had a very good framework of dividing between what is and what could be. When he talked about what is, he described this as a ground that feels safe. But what if Vinod has said, this is an illusion of safety? And he added in some of his personal emotions, or even on 1 or 2 minute anecdote of his personal experience when he saw someone close to him, or even himself, being caught in that. I would think that would help me connect much deeper with Vinod, that I know Vinod is a person. When he tells me to leap beyond what exists, it's not because he was just excited about the future, but he knows there is a need to do so because what is has an illusion. In summary, Vinod's speech could be a sun. Firstly, he already have shiny moments by interacting with Atu, with Dong, as well as François. Thank you so much for that. He has upliftment by rapping with us. I look forward to a 7-minute rap one day. and he could nourish us more by connecting with the sadder, more challenging moments of leadership. Thank you so much. Back to Madam GE, Leah.
Thank you so much for that, President Holmes. Wow, I learned something new. SUN, son. I hope you are taking notes on that. That's another interesting way of presenting an evaluation. Like you said, shine, uplift, and nourishment. With those few words, you're still maintaining, ensuring that in terms of evaluation, that you uplift the person and you also give them something that they can work on. Thank you so much for that. Our next evaluator, who was evaluating our first speaker, when asked, this is our evaluator, Nelly, the thoughts on what lead beyond what exists means to them. They said leadership is about seeing hope where others see limits, being the light in moments of uncertainty, and daring to shape a future that's yet to be seen. I would like to invite Nelly to please come and give us the evaluation for our first speaker, Alfin.
Thank you so much, Madam GE. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and guests, and most especially to you, Alfin. You opened your speech with a thought-provoking question that made us examine what truly matters in life. Do you prefer rich, smart? And that caught my attention. You then clearly differentiated differentiated the two, defining what it means to be rich and what it means to be smart, discussing the ways to acquire each, and even asking if either can be lost. You also compared how both can influence people, making the audience reflect that indeed each side has its own part of the coin. Now, your vocal variety and body gestures were well. They added energy and helped sustain the engagement. You also asked me to specifically observe about the clarity of your message, and I can say that I was able to follow your speech from start to finish. You have used the word of the day once. Now, to make your message transcend beyond definitions and comparisons, you could add a personal touch. It could be a short story, a real life example, or any relatable situation to support your stand throughout the body of your speech. This would help the audience to connect with your message on an emotional level, not just on the intellectual one. I also noted that you mentioned that a study shows that the most important way of learning is teaching. While I could say that it's true, you could strengthen it by citing what study it is to add a little weight or more weight to your claim and make it even more compelling. Your closing was also powerful. You said, money, when I die, my family will get it and forget about me. But if I acquire knowledge, I could write a book. And when I die, my family and the people will remember me. And that sentiment lingers. And by ending the same question you began with, rich, smart, you invited us to keep reflecting long after your words ended. So overall, it was a well-structured, clear, and thought-provoking speech, Alvin. Your speech reminded us that the richest life is one that invests in mind, and it could also be in heart. So continue to inspire, and you will not only lead, but truly you will lead beyond what exists. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Nelly, for that, and indeed reminding us once again the importance of forming that emotional connection when we do present our speeches. Thank you so much for highlighting that. I would like to then move on to our next evaluator, and that is Luciano, who was evaluating Rena's speech. Luciano?
Thank you very much, Madam Madam General Evaluator. So for Renan's speech tonight, your objective was to use the use of body language. This is what you asked me to look during your speech. There was at the beginning of your speech, there was a disconnect between your eye contact and your gestures. But after a couple of seconds, there was that reconnect. So that was good because when you connected your gestures, when you connected your gestures with what you were saying in order to emphasize, that really puts weight on the message that you're transferring across the audience. You transcend what you're speaking when you do that. One specific example is when you were speaking and you said, "Yes, we can." By moving your hand and saying that, you create that match between your gesture and what you're saying, and that re-emphasizes the message. So you really excelled at that. That's something that I will that you really excel at, and you continue working on that in your speech. And something very important about your speech is your speech is about how do you deal with those situations when you are challenged, because those are the times difficult. How you react to it, that's very important. So you chose a very good topic that at the end of the day everybody can apply on their daily lives, because we've always have that aspect. When you're speaking, you already prepare something and someone challenge you, takes you off your game, and how do you react to that? So that composure that you spoke about in your speech, that's very good. So everybody can take into that and apply it in their daily life. So that's good. What I would ask you to work on is just the connection between your eye contact and your gestures. Because at the beginning, I had the feeling that you were reading a little bit, and that distracted you on your body language, for your body language to follow what you were saying. So this is an area that I would like you to work on, and you can improve in that area. But overall, you worked on you were able to achieve your goal, which is using your body language to transmit the message. So to emphasize, that's extremely important. So keep working on that. Over to you, Madam Chair Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Luciano, for that. And again, for reminding our speaker the importance of having that connection with our lens, which is our audience out there, since for all our Zoom meetings. I will now invite our next evaluator, that's Lydia. And when asked about the theme for today, Lydia said that leading beyond what exists is important to me because that is what makes a leader to be more inclusive, a critical thinker, and flexible with changes. Lydia, please welcome to the virtual stage to give us the evaluation of Wahiga's speech.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator, Toastmaster Wahiga Gichinga. Had requested me to look at 3 areas: audience engagement. And as far as audience engagement, Toastmaster Wahiga, you did very well, because there was a question that you posed to the members. Have you ever had mentoring? That one made us think. I personally started thinking about it. Have I ever had a mentor? And that one you did very well. And about the vocal variety, there was the tonation, especially when you talked about the role that you took of a division director and the help that you got from the district director. That one brought it very clear. And the pauses also, your speech, you had good pauses. And overall, I really congratulate you because the title of your speech matches with the speech that you gave us. And the areas I'll request you to challenge yourself, it is on their virtual presence, because at times you are not able to see your full hand gestures. And in future, you were told you can adjust your Zoom presence. I normally also have a problem with that, whereby we are able to see the gestures that you are giving so that we are able to follow the story that you are giving us that will transcend you to another level. In general, overall, in conclusion, you left us with a very good key takeaway from a very powerful quote from Bill Cosby, where you said, mentoring is a brain to pick and an ear to listen and a push in the right direction. That one was very, very powerful. And in conclusion, the speech was flowing. I was able to follow you clearly, and even you're very clear when you talked about in mentorship, and it's a relationship whereby a mentor has a role to do, and the mentee also has to be available to be able to learn. Thank you very much, and back to you.
Thank you so much for that, and definitely noting some of the points that our speaker can improve on. I liked that it was very, very practical, that can easily be implemented. I will now move on to our final evaluator of our meeting, of our speakers today, and that's Nelly, who was evaluating Nicole Miller Douglas's speech. Nelly?
Thank you very much, General Evaluator Lair. Nicole, thank you for presenting your speech. Your language was precise and appropriate. Your speech was both motivating and informational. Motivating by the choice of words you chose. For example, step into the role of a hero. Informational, you used statistics. This gave you credibility, and it also showed the seriousness of the message you're conveying to your children. You went further to break down the statistics, to show your son, or to caution him that male children get involved in more accidents than female children. I like the way you used the acronym SIR to emphasize your message. It was easy to remember and very impactful. Your message was clear and succinct. It ensured the meaning was very well understood. Challenge yourself to mention your children's names. Personalize it. Don't just mention them as little girl and little boy. This is a serious message that you're communicating. So personalize it, maybe use their pet names or their real names. All in all, I like that your language was precise and appropriate. I like that you use statistics to emphasize your message, to show the seriousness of what you're talking about. Your message was very clear, and you achieved the objectives of the speech, especially your purpose statement. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nelly, for that. And I think we're hearing it again, the need to personalize, to create that emotional connection with the audience. It's very much, I think it's really coming out that it's really important when one is presenting a speech, because we all know, obviously, this session, it's not just for the speakers today, but it's also for the rest of us so that we can also improve in our speeches. So thank you so much to all our evaluators who have given the feedback from our speakers today. At this point, I'd like to invite our timer to please share the timing for our evaluators in the chat. And then I would like to request our grammarian, Altu, to please come and give us the grammarian report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Coming to the word of the day, transcend. Let's use the word transcend. Transcend, transcend, and transcend. I think there's been a very few usage of the word of the day, transcend. So in the further communication, let's start using the word of the day. DTM Vinod Panicker has used once. Alfin Abrar has used once. Leah has used once, Jyothi has used once, and Toastmaster Luciano has used once. Coming to the improper usage of language, Vinod mentioned it was 2, but it should be 2. It should be instead, it should be 4. And one of the speakers mentioned 1 of money, but it could be it could be some money. I think Alfin, yeah, Toastmaster Alfin. And maybe I would just suggest if you could have a proper sentence formation and a proper grammar for Alfin, that could really impact your speeches and quality of your speeches, and you're really doing great. And coming to Toastmaster Mrinal, I would just say you could improve a little bit on your pronunciation because some of the words were not very clear or audible, maybe due to mother tongue influence, but maybe due to practice, we can really make it happen. And Wahiga, she mentioned in our journey, instead you could say in my journey. Lida has mentioned virtual places, instead she could use virtual presence. That could be the better usage of language. I would now list the thoughts, quotes, and sayings which I like the most. Coming to DTM Vinod Panicker, the word brainstorming, and something new, which is question storming, and alpha beta testing, which has really inspired. And coming to Toastmaster Francois, mango podcasting. Coming to Alfin Abrar, reaching your mind by reading. And Toastmaster Renan, not to embarrass, but to educate. It was powerful. Toastmaster Wahiga, he does to masses back to functionality. And stump of confidence, a very good usage of language and a new vocabulary. And coming to Toastmaster Nicole Miller, drive with purpose, and as you mentioned, acronym SIR, which is safety, influence, and responsibility, which was really inspiring. And the word like persist and road rage as usage of good vocabulary. And Toastmaster Mrinal used avid reader. Ashwati, impeccable. And I like the way Jyothi used wedding bond. And our president, he used the word acronym SUN, which is shine, upliftment, and nourish. It was really creative, and I really enjoyed it. This is my grammarian's report today. And let's not forget to use the word of the day, transcend, further communication. Thank and hands to you, Gender Evaluator.
Thank you so much for that and for telling us how the language uses had been today. At this point, I'd like to request our Zoom master to please share the poll for our best effort evaluate. Oh, there it goes, best effort evaluator. The poll would have popped up on your screen. You can just vote for the best effort evaluator. So then I will then get into my general evaluation report. There's a quote I came by James Baker that says, prior preparation prevents poor performance. Some of you may have heard of it. They sometimes refer to it as the 5 Ps. And I always think whenever I see these words that it definitely relates to leadership speak, because there's so much prior preparation that happens before a meeting. And by the time we come on a Saturday and the meeting happens, it always goes in such a smooth manner, and that's because of all the preparation that would have happened beforehand. And indeed, even for our meeting today, preparation started at least 2 weeks in advance. We have a meeting on a Thursday where people can come and practice for today, and on Saturday, 30 minutes before the meeting time, the meeting room is open, people greeting you as you come in. All this is part of the prior preparation, and obviously at 9:30 or depending what time your zone you're in, when the meeting does start, to me it always feels like the meeting just runs very smoothly. And I must say today, the meeting actually, from my perspective, the meeting went really well. Our Toastmaster of the day started by introducing the theme of the meeting, and I think it was really well done. We really understood in terms of leading beyond what exists. Then we had our leadership speaker who spoke more on to the theme, and I think as our evaluator has stated, it was a very engaging speech, constantly asking the audience to participate. And then we had 4 speakers that shared from different pathways. So we got to see different speeches being presented today. And one gets to learn different aspects from the speeches that were presented today. And for me, like even in terms of technical issues, maybe there was just one point there, Mike was unmuted, but definitely I'll say big hands of applause to our Toastmaster of the day of ensuring that our meeting did run smoothly. I was even checking the times. I think when we were starting the evaluation session, we were just maybe about 5 minutes off. So I thought that was a really good progression of the meeting. Maybe 2 things that I might say maybe that we can employ to make the meetings a little bit better is our grammarian did state that we didn't really use the word of the day. So maybe if it can be shared in the chat, just as a reminder. I know I've also said if the word of the day is used in the chat, that should be counted. So maybe the grammarian can share it more often in the chat as a reminder. And also maybe the Toastmaster of the day could also just remind us once again that there is the word of the day so that all the speakers coming to the virtual stage will use it. And then maybe the other thing would just be for all the speakers who are presenting, maybe before the meeting to come a bit early, make sure that you are visibly clear if you're going to be using your hands or actions, that it appears properly within your screen. That can definitely help when it's now time for you to present. Other than that, I must say, I think this was definitely a well-prepared meeting. Again, stating the words by James Baker, prior preparation prevents poor performance. And I must say, definitely this meeting was well run and it was well prepared. And the Toastmaster of the day did ensure that it went off really, really well. So I must say, good meeting on today, the 9th of August, 2025. Very interesting meeting that was had today. With that being said from me, sorry, I'm now being distracted by the chat. With that being said from me, I will then hand over to our Toastmaster of the day, Mrinal.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I urge you everyone, please clap for Toastmaster Leah. What an amazing evaluation you did for overall of the meetings. And also I heartiest congratulate and gratitude to all the role players, all the speakers, evaluators, and one person I'll try to personally mention, Toastmaster Terence Ware, Zoom Masters. He's doing a fabulous job. These jobs are really is very much important for all of us. Now it's time to call upon on the virtual podium to Toastmaster Paramjit Singh. Toastmaster Paramjit Singh will be deliver thought of the day for today's meeting. I urge you, Zoom Master, please spotlight it. Yeah, Toastmaster Paramjit. Toastmaster Paramjit, over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. The best leaders are not bound by what exists. They see what is missing, what is possible beyond limits, and then create them. True leadership is not about following a roadmap. It's about drawing one where none exists. And it starts with asking bold questions, challenging outdated assumptions, and taking risks rather than shying away from them. And visionary leaders step into this unknown with courage, creativity, and conviction. They act before all the pieces are in place, knowing that clarity does not come before action. It comes through brainstorming, through idea storming, and through movement and action. As a design and development manager, my job is like a daily challenge for me. Like what is available to imagine what it could be. Whether it's problem solutions or navigating ambiguity or providing the solution for the new products, I have learned one very big thing, that leadership means stepping forward even when the path is not clear. It's not about wishing and waiting for the path to appear. It's about daring to take the first step to exist and create something beyond limits. So, my dear friends, don't be a leader who just wait for absolute clarity, rather than be a leader who goes beyond the limits and creates something new. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Paranjit. It was a really thought-provoking thought of the day. Now it's time for award ceremony. Are you all excited? Are you all ready? It's time for the best. I hope our Jew Master is also ready. Jew Master Strands, are you ready?
Thank you. I will give the honor to Toastmaster Zahra, the PR Master.
Sorry, it's my apologies. Best effort speaker. Best effort speaker for today's meeting. Best evaluator. Yeah. Best evaluator for today's meeting, none other than Toastmaster Jyothi Thomas. Toastmaster Jyothi Thomas, heartiest congratulations to you. Best speaker for today's meeting, any guesses? Best speaker for today's meeting, DTM Vinod Panicker. Best speaker for today's meeting, DTM Vinod Panicker. Heartiest congratulate to DTM Vinod and Toastmaster Jyothi for today's winner. And for me, today we all are winners. We learn from each other for foster our growth. Now it's time to hand over the virtual podium to our club president, Toastmaster Holmes. Toastmaster Holmes.
Thank you, Mrinal, for leading us in this meeting as the Toastmasters of the day. Proud of you. We'll have a little bit time to speak to the guest. I realize that we still have 41 people in the meeting room. Almost 2 hours in the meeting. Well done, everyone. Let me start with guests who have signed up the guest book. Umesh, are you able? Umesh has left. Let me see who else around. Karanisa, are you available to speak? Karanisa, let me go on. Faith, are you available to speak? Faith? I'll go on to some of the people who are. Faith, hello, Faith.
Good evening from Kenya.
I don't know what time it is from your end. It's a pleasure to have joined today. Enjoying this meeting. We are actually two of us.
There are two of you.
Yeah, this is Toastmaster Job Kuria, the president of Kericho Gold. I'm the Area 9 director in District 114 from Mombasa Island Toastmasters Club. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. It was a pleasure learning from you, the best of the best.
I'm
We were
excited to
invited
see
by Atos and Car, so thank you.
I just wanted to say that Mombasa is my hometown, Faith. I come from Mombasa. Habari yenu?
Wow.
Missouri, Missouri.
Mzuri sana. Huh?
Are you in Mombasa by any chance? Would
Mimi
like to meet.
mimi nakaa Canada sasa. Toronto.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Karibu kwa mkutano wetu next week. Oh, welcome to our meeting on Tuesday next
Please,
week at
yes,
Mombasa
I'll get in
Island.
touch with you and I'll definitely love to come.
Great, that's great. Thank you so much.
All right, take care, guys.
Okay, cheers.
Thank you so much, Faith. Bram, our immediate past president and vice president of membership, will definitely reach out to you. Let me just have another look at the guest book as well as the people here. Give me a moment. Kanaf, are you available to speak?
Hi. From
Hello, Kanaf. Are you able to turn on your camera if it's convenient?
Yeah. So hi, I'm from District 41, and currently I'm the treasurer of a club, Toastmaster Club of Speaking and Leadership.
How do you find the meeting today, Kanaf?
It was really great, and I really liked the speech of the educational speaker, Vikas, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, that was really great. Other speaker was also great, and you have a different theme, like two things which I like you in a club. So that was really great.
Good. I'm glad to hear that you like. Yep, continue, please. Continue.
Just a feedback. If like I'm from a personal club that has a lot of clapping to do, and if we could have something like a virtual clapping after the speeches, that would be. I don't know if people were doing or not. That was it.
Yes, I hear you. There were some virtual claps that I see, but it is something that we can look at. Thank you so much, Kanaf. Since you said you enjoy the speeches, would you consider joining this club? Just wondering.
Right now I'm at a different club. Maybe in September, like October, I'll reach out to.
Sure. In the meantime, you're always welcome to visit us as a guest. We are more than happy to have guests visiting us every single week. Thank you so much, Kanaf.
Thanks.
Mary, are you available to speak? Hi, Mary.
Hi, Holmes. How are
How's your
you?
day?
Good evening,
Doing
everyone.
good. Thank you so much. I see that you have asked for the link for the guest book. Let us email it to you in a short while after your meeting.
Sure. It's
How do you
just that
find the
I'm
meeting?
on my tablet and forms don't come up well and I can't work out yet how to fill them in. But I'd really love, because there is some feedback I'd like to give in terms of, the meeting I thought was brilliant. I like the format of your meeting. The speeches were just, every one of them was really, really, really good. Yeah, definitely. And I love that theme speaker at the beginning. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So yeah. Great time spent. Very, very valuable time spent.
Awesome. Is joining the club something that's on your mind? Just curious. Hey, Bram, go ahead.
So I spoke to Mary earlier this week, and that's why she's here. So I'll drop you that link to our guest book. But now that you are singing songs about our club, you can. The president has already asked you a question. If you would like to join, Mary, so let us know.
It is something I'd like to do. I don't think I could do it just yet. You know, Saturday this time is not usually free for me. But it will become so a little later in the year. So I would definitely think seriously then, because I really love, and you know, and the fact is I'm doing it online. I do quite a bit of work online, so I'd like to sharpen up, you know, those skills. So yeah, definitely probably later on in the year for sure.
Great to hear, Mary. And I just also like to let you know that in the meantime, while your timing on your Saturdays may not be available, all our meetings are hosted on Zoom. So when you have more time at another time in the week, feel free to go to the Zoom to visit, look at our meetings, and continue to enjoy them in the meantime. I look forward to speaking you again and seeing you again at a future meeting.
Thank you so much. And thank you all very much. It really has been a most memorable 2 hours.
Thank you for being here, Mary.
Thank you.
I appreciate your presence.
Thank you.
Genevieve Johnson, are you available to speak? I'll move on. Yvonne Codrington, are you available to speak? I'll move on. I've caught Lisa. Okay. Rose Odundo, I believe you may be a former member.
I consider myself still a member. I'll be joining again soon. Yeah, I'm now Area Director 1 for District 114. It has kept me a little busy. Yes, I'm trying to chat another club, so I've actually been caught up. But I do intend to join not too long from now. Let me not promise for September, but I'm looking at that. And when I do, I'd like to be very active, at least until June. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rose. I appreciate that you are making time to come here and also letting us know your intent to join us again. I look forward to it. Thank you so much, Rose.
Okay, one very quick feedback is I really love the growth. I mean, this club has really grown. I've listened and I'm overwhelmed. And Vinod, please keep it up. Indeed, we can keep listening to you. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Rose. I'd like to also invite some of our newer members to say a few words about how they feel after joining Leadership Speak. Let me see. Is Lynn still here? Just scroll through. I don't see her here. Are there anyone that I missed out? Bram, I may need your help a little bit here if there might be any new members that I'm missing out or any guests that might have been moving in and out.
I don't see any new members here currently that have been here recently, but let's see now.
But they left.
I think there's a Karunisa Gajiani. Hi, Karunisa. If she's around. Otherwise, I think we are done really. So.
All right. Thank you so much, Bram. With that, I'd like to hand back the time to the Toastmasters of the day, our leader for the day, Mrinal.
Thank you so much, our President, Toastmaster Holmes. So now it's officially adjourn our meeting and we can stop our recording and we can have some chit chat for informal